Today, I'm going to show you how to make steak and eggs for breakfast. This is going to be steak and eggs with cheese, but no Welch's grape. The first thing that you'll want to do is take your uncooked steak, bring it to room temperature, and put seasoning on it like pepper, salt, and whatever else you might like on it. Next, you'll want to preheat your air fryer if you're using an air fryer to cook the steak. You'll preheat it to 400 degrees wheezy and wait for it to get to 400 degrees because it is very important to preheat your air fryer. After your air fryer has been preheated to 400 degrees, you'll take the steak and place it inside of the basket of the air fryer, making sure not to crowd the steak inside of the air basket. Cook the steak for about 8 to 12 minutes, flipping it halfway through, and adjust the time based on doneness. For medium rare, 8 to 9 minutes, medium, 10 to 11 minutes, medium well, 12 to 13 minutes. And after it's done, you want to take it out and check the steak for doneness by using a thermometer. After the steak is cooked, you'll let it rest for 3 to 5 minutes to allow the juices to be reabsorbed. While it's resting, you'll take your eggs, crack them, and empty the contents inside of a bowl. And the reason for this is because I'm making scrambled eggs, and I'll mix it with seasoning before I put it in the pan. I use a whisk to mix them, to scramble them, but I'll add pepper and salt for flavor to the eggs. Now after I've added pepper, and you can see right here, I'm adding Himalayan pink salt to the eggs. You want to take the whisk and mix the eggs. If you don't have a whisk, you could use something like a fork. And if you don't have a fork, you could probably use a spoon. And if you don't use a spoon, I'll ask the question, why are you cooking anyway? But after you've mixed the eggs with the whisk, you'll let the eggs rest for a minute. Meanwhile, you'll heat a pan, and I have olive oil inside of the pan. Once it's heated, I'll go ahead and pour the mixed egg inside of the pan. Now, with the egg inside of the pan, the egg is cooking slowly. And what I'm going to be doing is taking the egg with a spoon and pulling the outer edges of the egg towards the center. And when I do this, the egg that is not yet cooked flows to the outer side of the pan, allowing it to be cooked, just like the egg that I pulled towards the center. Take the spoon and continuously, or periodically, take the edges of the egg and pull it towards the center of the pan. And at some point, flip it so the other parts of the egg can get cooked thoroughly, just like I've shown you right here. Now, if you're adding cheese, even though we don't have Welch's grape, I like to add it sometimes during this point to the cooked side of the egg. This allows the heat to keep on going up, cooking the egg as well as melting the cheese at the same time. I took the egg and I folded the egg on top of the cheese, and this makes somewhat of a small oven by cooking the cheese using the egg that is already hot. I turn off the stove, but the pan is still warm, heating the egg still and helping with the melting process of the cheese. After the egg is cooked and the cheese is melted to some degree, and it will continue cooking because the egg is hot, you'll place the egg with cheese, no Welch's grape, on a plate like I'm doing right here. And by now, the steak has reabsorbed the juices, and now it's time for me to cut the steak and add it to my plate of cheese eggs with no Welch's grape. Now, how you cut your steak is totally up to you. It's your prerogative, like Bobby Brown said, and Britney Spears tried to remake, but Bobby Brown was the original. Cut it how you like it. You can see I like the steak medium well, which is reflective of the steak that you see in front of you. I'm just going to turn the cutting board to the side so I can get the other piece of steak and slice it just like I did the first piece of steak. As I do this, you can see the juice flowing out of the steak and onto the wooden cutting board. You'll be able to smell how good the steak is at this point. Now, after you've cut up the steak, what you'll want to do is introduce the steak to the eggs, kind of like a meet and greet. Cheese melted on the eggs. Take the steak and slide it. Slide it right next to the eggs with cheese. And that is how you make a steak, egg, and cheese, no Welch's grape breakfast. I hope this video has been helpful. Thanks a lot for watching.